I'm doing a video and I'm singing. I'm doing a video and I'm singing. Hey guys, Victoria here and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. Today we are going to do a Christmas movie review of one of my favorite Christmas movies, Elf. Please don't judge me. Elf is one of those Christmas movies that really grew on me, mainly because my media technology teacher forced us to watch it repeatedly, even when it wasn't Christmas. So, imagine watching that movie over and over and over and over again. You're just going to grow fond of Will Ferrell and his constant yelling and sweet elf-like charm. So for those of you who don't know what or who Elf is, what it's about, it is about an oversized elf who doesn't fit in with the regular elf community. So he comes to the United States in search of his true identity, his real parents, and things like that. Because if you're like a 7-foot tall elf and all of your best friends are like 1 inch tall, you kind of have some questions, right? So enough with my, my struggle synopsis. Let me go ahead and read you the real one. After accidentally wreaking havoc on the elf community due to his ungainly size, a man raised as an elf in the North Pole is sent to the US in search of his true identity. So with all jokes aside, that's exactly what the 2003 movie Elf was about. Okay, so first let's talk plot. The plot of Elf is very simple to grasp whether you're 5 years old or you're 95 years old. It's a story that anyone can understand and maybe even appreciate a little bit. The idea of trying to identify yourself or just figure yourself out, that's something that we've all experienced, or maybe that's something you're currently going through. Maybe you're trying to figure out who you are. Maybe you're trying to figure out what matters to you. So in some way or another, we can all relate to that part of Buddy the Elf. But there are some things with the plot that I think could have been solidified a little bit more. It's a little flimsy in terms of structure and things that they want you to see. Like, the movie's supposed to be funny. It has Will Ferrell in it. It has some of these other amazing actors in it. But sometimes the movie is trying to poke fun of itself too much in a way that the plot gets a little wonky. Some things happen that don't necessarily push the story forward or help the story progress. But, with it being this type of movie, it's something that everyone is really able to look past, And I am so sorry. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is raining really hard outside of my house right now. So if you hear a little pitter patter, I promise it's not Rudolph landing on my roof and all of that fun Christmas stuff, but just some nice old soothing rain. So let's talk about the characters. Will Ferrell, if you don't know him, get to know him. I do know people who personally just hate Will Ferrell with a passion. I don't personally hate him like that, so I didn't have a problem watching the movie when I first originally saw it. And I don't know, I don't have a problem watching it these days. But if you're not a fan of things like SNL or kind of like sketch-like humor or screaming humor or anything like that, then maybe this movie isn't for you. I think Will Ferrell did a great job with the character. This was supposed to be like a physically demanding and very over the top and very outrageous kind of character, so it just fits. His performance just fit perfectly. The plot itself, you have to have someone who can deliver that kind of uncanny, performance. So I think Will Ferrell nailed Buddy the Elf to a T. Zooey Deschanel, she was very sweet as her character, Jovi. I don't know, if you've seen anything that Zooey Deschanel has been in, then you kind of get the Zooey Deschanel effect, like the big pretty doughy eyes and then the sweet voice and like kind of dry sense of humor. That Zooey Deschanel was still in this movie. So when I watched the movie, I was seeing Zooey Deschanel, which, whatever, right? But, maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you want to see an actor step outside of that kind of expected role, if that makes sense. James Caan as Walter was beautiful. He was very much like the Grinch in this movie. Near the end, his heart grew 3 times as big and he was singing Christmas songs and things like that. But it was interesting to see his journey of hating Buddy the Elf to loving his son and you know, I don't know. It was very refreshing to see that kind of character in this movie to balance out everyone else. Because you had Jovi, who was kind of in the middle of like, you know, I'm kind of Christmassy and I'm a little cheery, but then again, I'm not. And then you had Buddy the Elf, who is way over the top and very cheery. One of those people that when you go into work in the morning and they're very, 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 very much in a good mood and you're just kind of like dial it back a bit. That's who Buddy the Elf is. And then you have, Walter, who is literally everyone else in the morning at like 8 o'clock. So, yeah. But overall, I think it was a really good cast. I feel all of the people they put in this movie worked well together. They balanced each other out. Like if an actor had a weakness, another actor was able to balance that out with their strength. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this movie is directed by Jon Favreau. So if you've seen Iron Man, if you've seen Chef, if you've seen the reimagining of Jungle Book, and if you plan on seeing the reimagining of The Lion King, then you're familiar with his work. And this seems very much his style, this kind of humor. So it makes sense to me, you know, just knowing that his name is on this project. So the music. I know, like, whenever you think about Elf, you don't think about the music, but I really think the music in this movie helped bring the movie to life. Like, Christmas Time played at a certain point in the movie by Stevie Wonder, and it was probably one of the best songs they could have played during that scene. It was very upbeat, it was very lighthearted, and it very much gave the scene something else. And you know, though it was very brief, I really liked it. And the last thing I want to talk about before I wrap up this video is the humor. Does the humor take away from the movie? Does the humor help the movie in some way? So to me, some of the humor, the gags in the movie kind of swing between being funny and inventive, and then on the other spectrum you just have screaming, which, you know, that's to be expected. We've talked about that this whole video so far. And the crazy thing about it is that even though you have these two different types of humor, the jokes in the movie are performed well enough to get a laugh out of anyone, really. Like I mentioned at the top of the video, the plot is overshadowed by some of the humor in a way, because some serious things do happen in the movie and it's kind of hard for you to pull back that laughing grin you just had 5 minutes ago in order to get serious. You know what I mean? But all in all, what rating do I give Elf? 3 out of 5 geeks. It's one of those movies you just can relax and sit back with friends and watch, and you really can't go wrong when watching it. You won't really lose anything when watching it. If you like this video, give me a like rating down below, and I don't know, leave me a comment. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Elf is not my all-time favorite Christmas movie, but it is one of the ones that I really do enjoy watching sometimes. So yeah, drop me a comment and let me know yours. If you're new to my channel, hello, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, happy, what's today, Tuesday? Whatever you celebrate, happy that to you. And welcome to my channel, and hit that subscribe button so you can get more videos like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.